This episode of the What's Happening Delco podcast is brought to you by Delco Meets for Business. Check us out on Meetup at Delco Meets, the number 4 business. Register and attend one of our incredible networking meetings. We meet the 1st through the 4th Tuesday at the Upper Crest Restaurant in Newtown Square. We meet the 1st through the 4th Thursday at the Brick House in Ridley Park. We look forward to seeing you there. What's happening, Delco? I'm Rich Shane, and welcome to the What's Happening Delco podcast. Today, I'm joined by Justine Stratton and Gail Van Ree of Gameday Men's Health Media. Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having us, Rich.
Hi, Rich.
Okay, Gameday Men's Health Media. What is that?
Yeah, Gameday Men's Health and Media. We are a men's health clinic. We specialize in testosterone replacement therapy, erectile enhancement, vitamin injections, peptides, medical weight loss, and then we also have a treatment for muscular skeletal pain. So we really focus on men's health here. There's a lot out there for women, and we do service women for vitamins, peptides, and weight loss. But a lot of guys are coming in to see us for the erectile enhancement and testosterone treatments and consultations that we offer. If you come in, we have an in-house lab and we offer complimentary testosterone testing where we check your testosterone levels. We also check your PSA and your hemoglobin, and we get you in and out the door in about 40 minutes or less with the consultation with our clinician so you can understand your levels and get a better picture of your health.
How did all this get started for the both of you?
Well, it was interesting. Our kids came to us and they really wanted to get into their own business and have something for them. And my husband's always said, hey, bring something to me and I'll check it out and see if it's something that I think is a viable solution and something that you guys might enjoy doing. And so they did. They brought this Gameday Men's Health to us, and we took a look at it. My husband's he's in the Wall Street. He does the banking and all the finance stuff. So he looked at it and he said, yeah, I think it's a go. And I think that be a really good team because I've been a nurse for 45 years. My daughter's in marketing and sales, and my son does investigative work, and he's done management type stuff before. So as a team, it worked really, really well. And when we took a look at the way that Gameday operates and the way it works and how it got started, it was really intriguing, and we were really fascinated by it. And having 3 brothers, I just loved focusing on men's health, and having my son and my husband, is just, there's really not a lot out there for men. So this was just really, I thought it was a very unique opportunity and something that was very needed in the community.
Looking at the surface, great business opportunity, but as you scratch through that surface and dive deeper, meeting the both of you and the family, your husband, Gail, and your brother, Justine, I mean, this has become a passion for your family. This isn't just, and it resonates. You want men's health to be front and center, focused on, because not too much attention is being paid to men's health. And there's so much, I've been to your office. You make it so easy. It's 35 minutes, as you said, to come in and have your blood drawn. It's a very comfortable situation, but it's become your passion. And talk about that for helping men and their own health awareness and their needs.
Yeah, it's so rewarding, right? I mean, that's one of the main reasons we got into this as well. Like we talked to other Gameday owners and we, asked them why they got into this business. And overwhelmingly, everyone said, oh my gosh, testosterone treatments changed my life. I didn't know why I was feeling the way I was feeling. Like nobody was, telling me about testosterone. Nobody was, telling me about how this could affect my everyday life, my mood, my energy, my sleep quality, my relationships. So, it's just been so rewarding to see guys come in kind of lethargic and down and not quite sure what's going on. And then, they're on testosterone for a little bit. And I mean, they're literally coming in and telling us how their life has changed. So it's incredibly rewarding to have men feel their best when they come in here and get the treatments and the proper care. And I think that that's, ultimately for us, like why we love doing this, right? We love helping people. And, again, there's not much out there for men. So having an environment where they can come come in and have a big screen TV, snacks and drinks, you know, a really comfortable waiting room with big comfy leather chairs. You know, if they can pop in and see us anytime they want to and get that personalized white glove care, is, you know, something that is a need out there in the space. And we, you know, really are enjoying helping better the lives of men.
And I think that in addition to that, just what Justine said, it is a one-stop shop for men. Trying to get men to take care of themselves and their health is always a challenge, right? Men just don't usually take care of themselves the way women do, and they hate going to the doctor. They almost have to be dragged there. So it's a one-stop shop where they can come and park easily. They can come into the clinic. They see our clinician. They get their blood drawn. They get their results, and if need be, and medically appropriate, then they can even start the testosterone that same day, which is amazing for guys. I mean, they love to have in and out. You know, they just want to all to be done quickly and efficiently and done well, and with somebody that's very knowledgeable and has the medical skills to take care of them.
Gail, you said something very important there, that men traditionally don't take care of their health the same way as women. We don't have those doctors or those needs as women do, specifically to maintain their bodies, to be aware of the levels in their bodies. And you hear so much today, and even more so, about our environments, what we're eating as men and what we're exposed to. And testosterone specifically is, I would say, it's almost an epidemic, as
It
the
is.
levels where they are and the low levels. And men, you said, I mean, Justine, we're maybe lethargic or tired, and we think that's how we're supposed to feel because we're go, go, go in many cases, or we're sedentary. And if we're sitting all day or we're not moving, maybe that's just a byproduct of moving. Talk about the, you know, where we are today and the changes that can be made just by improving testosterone levels. What I hear is, you know, even high school age men, even college age men, have these levels of 70 and 80-year-olds where you know, testosterone decreases as we get older, but it doesn't have to, right?
Well, it naturally will always decrease. It always decreases as we age. That's just a fact of life. But the rate at which it's decreasing and at the age that it's happening now is very, very different. And I think there's a multiple factors for that, right? Over the last 15 to 16 years, they have just seen a downward trajectory. It's just been amazing to watch how rapidly and how quickly that's happened. Now, could that be environmental? Absolutely. They put a bunch of pesticides and all sorts of things in, you know, our foods and that type of thing that, you know, they didn't used to. They always have antibiotics and hormones that they instill into our food. And to like plump up the chickens, they, you know, put them full of hormones with all of the estrogens and that type of thing. And when you consume that amount of food, you out that we allow here in the United States of America. And I'm hoping that, you know, now that RFK is in, that a lot of that will change and that we'll see a significant difference in what is allowed in our food now. They did actually a study, I believe it was out of Harvard or Yale, and it was on frog zygotes, where they actually looked at these zygotes and they put a chemical into the mix with these zygotes, and they found, and it's the chemical is the same thing that we use in our plastics for our water, something that Europe has not allowed for years and years and years. And it actually changed the zygotes from an XY to an XX. And that is like, how many people know that? I mean, it's just unbelievable, some of the stuff that we allow in our food out there that people have no idea about. So you put that together, the environmental, you put the hormones and all the stuff they're sticking in, and then you also look at all of the other chemicals from the bottles and things like that. And then on top of it, we got COVID, right? And COVID targeted the testes of men and ovaries of women. And after COVID, a lot of people's testosterone tanked. Now, a lot of it came back as well, but some of them has stayed down there. And so there's all of those things put together, it's just really works against men. And it's really sad to see, because men are walking around and they're just not feeling the way they used to feel.
See, this is the passion and fire that I'm used to when we speak about men's health. The most valuable thing I think is we can do as humans, and we talked a little bit about that in women's health, but for men's health, just knowing what your markers are, knowing what your levels are, being aware of how we can start to improve our overall health. you talked about some different things, but concentrate on, I know it's a testosterone, but the effects of what happens when you improve that testosterone or become aware of what your levels are to just say, all right, now I know where I am. Now I know where I need to be.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that, when guys get on testosterone with us, some guys feel better within a few weeks. Other guys are feeling better within like 4 to 6 months. So I would say over the course of 6 months is when you really get the full effects of being on the treatment. And every guy, absorbs testosterone differently. Every guy needs to be adjusted differently, which is why it's so important to be monitored and have somebody who focuses on hormone replacement therapy and has that knowledge, so that we can, check your estradiol levels, check your lipids, check your panels, ensure that you're, functioning properly with the testosterone being administered. But typically, what men feel is better mood, higher energy, better sleep quality, the ability to maintain their muscle mass goes up and they can actually build muscle. And when you can build muscle, you can burn fat a little bit easier, and clear up brain fog. That's a really big one. So, there's a lot that testosterone affects, and in every guy, it's a bit different. I think another one that most people know, but, the libido in men, just, having that sexual drive is something that testosterone affects. So it's a really big hormone. And every man feels a little bit differently when they don't have enough of it. But as you get those levels back to where they need to be, you start to feel like you're getting that pep back in your step and feeling like you did when you were a bit younger. Because when you were younger, your body was naturally producing the appropriate amount of testosterone to have you feel that way. But again, as you get older, when you hit around 30 and it's getting lower every single year, but that's when your testosterone levels start to decline. And every man is a bit different in how they will decline, how much they will decline based on their food, their diet, their, workout routines and things along those lines. But ultimately, testosterone really is, getting guys back to feeling like they did when they were younger.
I go in, my testosterone's great. The levels are where they're supposed to be or in range, but some of those other things you're testing for may not be there. What are some of the other ways you can help men improve their health and feel better and feel vibrant?
So that we not only do we do the testosterone, but we also do peptides, and peptides are a new and upcoming thing. And I'm telling you, they are some of the coolest things out there. Your GLP-1s, which are, your Ozempics and that type of thing, they are a peptide. They've been around for years, but they have just increased over the last couple of years and really been in everybody's eye because of the weight loss that they've been doing it for, using the GLP-1s for. So we can use that as well. But with RFK in, he's a big proponent of peptides. So I'm hoping to see a big boost in and some FDA regulations cleared up and that type of thing. But we do have some peptides that will actually help men increase their muscle mass, and they'll and actually just improve their general feeling of well-being. It's kind of like the fountain of youth. I kind of like say it helps keep people with their skin, their muscle mass. I mean, we have peptides for all sorts of things. But it's very interesting how they play out, because we actually trigger something in your body to produce it naturally. So they're pretty cool. Peptides are really a really neat new world that's coming up and coming.
Are there any other male related issues? You mentioned the peptides, the testosterone. Are there any other ways that you're helping men at Gameday Men's Health Media?
Definitely. Yeah. So vitamin injections are another big one. Instead of taking oral vitamins, when you take them, the liver kind of takes out a lot of the benefits that you have. And when you do an actual vitamin injection, it bypasses the liver. So you get a lot more of the benefits and the qualities. So we do those vitamin injections for men and women. We've got B12, vitamin C, mix shots, and we also have aminoplex, and then glutathione. And we can get our hands on a lot of other vitamins as well, but those are some that we have in office for our patients. And then we do medical weight loss. So the GLP-1s, the semaglutides, tirzepatides, we can help our patients with that. And that again is men or women. And then we also have a really, really amazing treatments for erectile enhancement needs. So my mom likes to call it penis maintenance, but every single guy is going to, at some point, probably experience some form of ED as they start to age. We see a lot of diabetics and hypertensives in here because they naturally just don't have as good of circulatory going on through their body. But there's some vessels that run run through a man's penis that can get clogged with plaque. And we have a treatment called Wave that helps break up that microplaque in there to allow the blood to flow freely. And this treatment is drug-free, it's surgery-free, it's non-invasive. There's absolutely no downtime or side effects. And men are loving it because what it's doing is it's freeing up that, vessel and allowing blood to flow, and it's increasing sensitivity, increasing blood flow, and allowing them to get erections like they did in their 20s and in their 30s. And so it's helping them to overcome ED issues that they're having. And, there are drugs out there that we can prescribe like Viagra and Cialis, but those are Band-Aids, right? Like those are like, you have to take a pill in order for this to work. Whereas what we're doing is we're actually fixing the root cause of the issue, which is typically a circulatory problem. And we're giving guys back that, that vitality and that, vigor that they had, back when they were younger. We have a few other treatments, something called a P shot, which is platelet-rich plasma. We take your blood, we spin it down in a centrifuge, and that platelet-rich plasma that's up at the top of the vial, when we spin it down, we take that out and we would inject that into the man's penis. And it's rejuvenating in nature. So it basically, again, kind of restores the penis back to what it was when it was in its younger years. So a couple different treatments that do some different things, but we do a lot with ED treatments here and erectile enhancement and getting guys back to feeling like they did when they were younger.
Gameday Men's Health Media is a game changer. And I think that's so inspiring to our community that you've found this place for men to be so valuable, so helpful. For the both of you, who inspires you? Who motivates you?
Well, for me, I'm very inspired by my parents, my family. They have worked so hard, each and every one of them, to get to where they are. Like all my uncles own their own business. We're now owning our own business. Like my mom and dad work so hard to give us the life that we have. So I guess for me, I'd say my aunts, uncles, parents, my family is very inspiring to me.
I would say the same. And I look around and I know that we said it earlier, Rich, but I think that there's nothing better to see. I mean, my kids kind of dragged me out of retirement. Like I said, I was, I was retired. I was pretty happy. I was living a pretty comfy life. And then they were like, "Hey, what do you think about coming back to work full time?" So it has been, it's been a lot of work, but it's so rewarding and it is so fun. I can't even begin to tell you when you see men's lives change and you see relationships restored, and people are just so happy to get back to be able to, like, they've gone to so many doctors and they're like, well, they told me that they weren't going to treat me because my testosterone wasn't that low, or they weren't going to, there was really not much they could do for my Peyronie's. And that's something else that we do. We do treat Peyronie's, and it's very helpful for guys because it's a very uncomfortable situation for them when they get erections. So we do treat that. And whenever they're like, it is so nice to be able to be back in the game again and not have issues and not have concerns about whether things are going to work or they're not going to work, or it just being feeling good and having those relationships again, because I don't think people realize how much testosterone affects your mood. And whenever your mood's affected, you're affecting your family and you're affecting your kids, and it's a game changer all the way around. So restoring families back to where they were and relationships back to where they were is just incredibly satisfying. And I love our patients. We have the best patients. I have to tell you, we have such unbelievable, wonderful patients. We love them.
Yeah.
How do people get a hold of you if they want to schedule an appointment or learn more about Gameday Men's Health Media?
So they can call, they can text. Our phone number is 610-854-8461, and that number can be called or texted. You can go to Gameday Men's Health _media, and that's our Instagram handle, and you can message us there. There's all of our links to book appointments with us, but call, text, email. We will answer, and we'll get back to you and get you scheduled in whatever way is most convenient for you.
You're in and about Delco and you have that cheesesteak craving. Where are you stopping for cheesesteaks?
Ooh, in Delco. I'm probably gonna go to Thunderbird if I'm in Delco. I love Thunderbird wings and steaks. I've been going there for 20 years. If I'm going into Philly, I'm probably gonna go to Steve Prince of Steaks.
How about pizza? You've satisfied that cheesesteak craving and you're looking for that pizza. Where are you going for pizza in Delco?
Oh boy. There's oh my gosh, okay, Rich, this is a terrible thing to say, but I'm a Michigander at heart, right? And coming from Michigan, we had a pizza called Jets Pizza. And I am so spoiled by my Jets Pizza that I am still looking for that really great pizza out there. But I do like Pica Pizza. I go to Pica's and I do enjoy their pizza. They have a couple locations that we go to. And then I'm trying to remember, there's the Alfredo one that's right in Newtown Square. That's a good pizza. And what's the other one that we just had the other day, Justine?
You guys just had Mod Pizza, but I don't know. I've actually never
Oh,
been to Mod.
we do go to mods too. We were there just last night. Our electricity was out. We took the kids there. Our grandkids, we took our grandkids there. Um, yeah, but those are probably the three that we go to the most.
You're getting your fill of pizza. That's wonderful. Wawa or Royal Farms for your convenience store needs?
No
Oh,
questions
Wawa,
asked. Wawa all the way.
Wawa. Yeah.
100%.
Although chicken is really good at Royal Farms. They have very good fried chicken.
How do you describe Delco to somebody who's never heard of Delco before or does not live here?
I actually just had this conversation with my girlfriends because a lot of my girlfriends are from Virginia. But I tell them that Delco is, the suburb, the best suburb of, Philadelphia. And you can come get your water ice here and, meet, a lot of fun people who really enjoy living life on the outskirts of the Philadelphia area. And it's just a wonderful place to raise a family and play sports and have, just a solid community around you.
You have friends or family coming in from out of town and you want to give them or take them to that Delco experience. Where are you sending them or where are you taking them?
I'm
Oh,
probably going to take him to Rita's to get some water ice. First day of spring, I'm always there getting my free water ice. They will absolutely get to go to Wawa and get a meatball hoagie because you have to have a meatball hoagie from Wawa. And then, I mean, growing up, I did so many sports. Like I went to troop field and, watched softball games, baseball games. So I love, seeing the, media little league and just the kids out there playing sports and enjoying Rose Tree Park and things like that. A lot of amazing outdoor parks and creeks and streams around Delco as well. So we enjoy getting outside and being in nature, stopping at Wawa, getting a picnic and going out there.
Is there anything we haven't talked about today, Justine or Gail? Anything you want the listeners to know more about you or Gameday Men's Health Media?
Rich, there is one thing that I would love men to know and everybody to know. And this is kind of, I have a passion for it. And it's really kind of heartbreaking because one of the things that we do see a lot of that come into our clinic are men that have ED issues, and they're becoming younger and younger and younger. And the reason is that they watch too much porn, and people just have absolutely no idea the effects of porn. Um, there's a title, it's called PEDS, PEID. It's a porn-induced erectile dysfunction. And it is caused by watching too much porn. And nobody tells these kids. Nobody tells, and the reason we're seeing it younger and younger is because these kids have, the internet right in their hand all the time with phones, right? And they're watching pornography at a younger and younger age. And the more you watch pornography, it's called neuroplasticity. And it literally changes the way your brain works, and you're unable to have relations in their 20s because they have watched too much porn. And the only thing that helps with that is stopping. And most men don't know it. A lot of doctors don't know it. There is just people in general that have absolutely no idea that this is happening. And I can't stress it enough for fathers to tell their children and for mothers to tell their sons. And I mean, and all these guys that are out there, most guys have absolutely no idea because they think, hey, what's the big deal? I'm by myself. I'm in my room. Nobody knows I'm doing it. I'm not hurting a soul. So it's not harmful, but it is harmful because it has to get harder and worse and worse. And in order to get the results that you want to have, you start watching more porn that is more hardcore. And by that, I mean, the United States right now is third. We are the third largest consumers of child pornography in the world. And that's the way, the direction that we're going in because of that. So I just wanted to put that out there for people to realize that it is real. It is definitely out there, and people just don't know about it, but it is pornography-induced erectile dysfunction, and it's happening to our kids at an alarming rate right now. And we're seeing 20-year-olds all the time that are coming into our clinic that are unable to have relationships, and relationships are really suffering it, you know, wives and girlfriends and people, and there's actually an epidemic with a lot of the young females that have been, and even older women that are coming in into therapists and saying, my husband doesn't want to have sex with me anymore, or my boyfriend doesn't want to have sex with me anymore. And with all this new AI stuff out there, it's gotten crazy. It's just really, it's not a healthy, it's just very unhealthy to do to your own body and your own mental health. Because if you want to have an erection, it's 20% is mental, 80% is a vascular issue. And we can do the 80%. We can help with that without any doubt. We can help you with that 80%. But that 20%, we can't help you. We can't do anything for that. You just have to be able to have, you know, better self-control and know what you're doing to your own self, because most people just are completely unaware, like I said.
Yeah,
and
I
I would
think we're
just
going to bring you back on, and Justine as well. And maybe there's another opportunity for you to be the resource for men's issues on the What's Happening Delco podcast, because what you talked about is such a significant point of information that I think it provides us for another podcast to talk about. Both of you, it started out as we'd like to have a business, a family opportunity. And as I've shared, this is a passion, and you can hear it from both of you. This is a desire to make a difference in Delco, to make a difference in the Delaware Valley, because you really care. You are so interested to change men's health, men's awareness. And every day you go out there and do that. So thank you for doing all that you do. Thank you for being a friend of What's Happening Delco. Look, men, make the appointment. It's very easy. It's very simple. It's just 30, 35 minutes out of your day. You're going to learn so much. Make the appointment. Text them. Call them. Go online and take care of that. It's so important. Thank you both for your time today, and we look forward to seeing you out and about in Delco.
Yeah, thanks
Thanks,
so much,
Rich.
Rich. Really appreciate it.
Hey, it's Rich. Thank you so much for being a listener to the What's Happening Delco podcast. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to learn more about the people and businesses in our community. I've been a real estate agent for over 25 years, working with first-time home buyers to last-time home sellers. As a listener of the podcast, my gift to you is a complimentary 1-year American Home Shield home warranty. This is for buyers and sellers that I help. If you're looking to move anywhere in the United States, I have you covered with an amazing network of real estate agents. I look forward to hearing from you. My direct line is 215-313-3777, or you can email me at rshaneremax@comcast.net. Oh, by the way, I am never too busy for any of your referrals.